have over 17 million followers across my social media platforms, and I've built 2 businesses on top of them. And today I am going to tell you how I did it, how you can do the same. And one thing to convince you to start social media, I have posted my first video in December 2014, and I haven't missed a month of an upload since then. I understand that attention, social media views is the new oil, and they are crucial to build a business. They're crucial for your company. So if you're an entrepreneur who's willing to get more free leads from social media, please watch this video up to the very end, because I will tell you exactly how to reach your audience on social media. And also, if you're a creator who's willing to grow your audience to someone who resembles you, to someone who appreciates your values, please watch this video, because this is my main goal on the platform, and I've been building my strategy with that in mind. And by the way, sometimes a video that generates 5 million views doesn't bring you any single client or not too many subscribers. But a video that only has 1,000 views connects with your core audience who become your customers and sometimes lifetime friends. So if you're interested on growing on social media in 2024, I'm going to talk about 3 major platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and well, TikTok. Let's still talk about it. We'll see what's going to happen. And I'm going to mostly focus on YouTube and Instagram, and I will tell you why, and I think you will agree with me. So in this video, I will tell you the pros and cons of each single platform. I will tell you how to make videos on those platforms to gain views and customers, and I will tell you the exact methods that you can use to convert your viewers into leads. I've actually delivered this class, this lecture, at a conference for people who run multi-million-dollar businesses, and I'm very happy to be able to share it with you as well. Now, as a YouTuber of 10 years, I totally prioritize long-form videos on YouTube as my main social media format, because there are several things that are just not present in any other formats. So first of all, when you watch a 20-minute video, when you learn about my story, my values, there's just a different type of connection, which doesn't really happen when you watch a 10-second video of me. YouTube has this evergreen effect. So for example, if I make a video about a TOEFL test or a GMAT test, this is how I started my channels, these videos that I made back in 2015, they still generate views and revenue till this day because they're evergreen. People still take those tests. People are still looking for those terms on YouTube, and YouTube is the second largest search platform in the world right now. Another thing that I love about YouTube is that it kind of has this passive income aspect where you make videos for the platform and they pay you for views. So basically, YouTube receives money from advertisers to show ads on top of my videos, and I get 55% of that revenue. And another thing that I just love about YouTube is that with the rise of podcasts, I get plenty of opportunities to collab with amazing people like Justin Kahn, Nate O'Brien, Graham Stephan, all of the cool creators of this world. And this is something you can utilize in 2024. And yes, of course, there are short videos on YouTube. I don't see them as a lead generator right now because I don't have any physical products. They could be great for people who have physical products because you can link them with YouTube affiliate, but they provide free traffic for my channel. Now, of course, YouTube has some cons. First of all, it requires capital. It's not that easy to just make a 15-minute video. I have my professional camera, I have my professional mic, I have my editors who help me with everything, but you can minimize the costs of those. I know creators who pay $200 for a long form, and it's a very beautiful long form video, and they're delegating their editing somewhere abroad. Of course, YouTube is highly competitive and you can't just copy everyone and become famous. Yes, you can learn from people, but I think the audience is overall tired of those cliche videos that everyone is making. Another con I would say is that shorts don't really convert. They do convert on Instagram, and I will tell you how. But with YouTube, it's just mostly free traffic. And storytelling skill is a must on YouTube. You just can't be in front of the camera if it's really hard for you to tell stories. Now, Instagram has recently changed. When Reels were introduced, it became so easy to grow on Instagram. One of my friends just grew by almost 900,000 subscribers on his Instagram just by posting videos about English language, teaching people English. And he was very specific, one particular format, once a day. He kept posting, and he just exploded on that platform. So it really allows you to grow organically these days, which I just love. On Instagram, there's another unique feature which is called Stories and DMs. This is where you connect with your audience, where you can show them their day-to-days and sell your product and collaborate with other brands, because you can post a link in Stories, something you can't do with Shorts and Reels, but something you can do on Stories. So you can link to a product, which is crucial for a lot of advertisers. And Instagram is a great networking tool. You find a person, you DM them. This is the way I met a lot of people. And of course, there are cons. With Instagram, you have to niche down, otherwise it's going to be really hard to grow. If today you're posting about cars, tomorrow you're posting a recipe, in 3 days you're posting a video of a cute baby. That is not going to work. You have to niche down in order to start growing. Yes, you can add other formats on the go, but I would say like 60% of your content should be dedicated to your niche. And this means you have to work for the algorithm and also follow trends. If there is a trendy sound or there is a trendy format, you're going to have to utilize those because they help you grow faster. Now, TikTok is this unique platform that gives everyone a chance to become a celebrity. But if you're not a celebrity on TikTok, it gets really hard to monetize. I guess there are some creators who are able to make a fortune on TikTok, but the problem is most of creators who surround me, my friends, they're struggling with TikTok. They're not able to make any money from the creator fund, or the amount they can make is really funny, and they struggle to sell products. Although if you're very niche, like a lawyer, and you only need maybe like a couple customers a month to consider the platform profitable, TikTok might be an option for you. But for me, for example, our main product with LinguaTrip is a $70 English language or a TOEFL prep course, and we need more than 2 clients a month to be profitable because we have a team to support. And another thing that I don't really like about TikTok as a creator, it only pushes videos that have this viral potential. So for example, I have 3 million followers on TikTok, and when I post something, which is like for my subscribers only, I get 10,000 views, like 20,000 views. But when I really make an effort and try to follow a trend, oh, Apple Vision Pro, Tesla, bam, 40 million views. Like, it's really hard to predict, but you kind of understand that TikTok doesn't really care about how many subscribers you have. It really cares about whether this video has this viral potential and will satisfy a large number of audience. This is my understanding of the algorithm on TikTok. But as a positive notion, yes, you can become famous on TikTok overnight, and contracts can follow. Now, this is where I transition to the class that I actually delivered during the conference, and we're going to start with how to grow on YouTube in 2024. So today, because of that, we're going to focus on YouTube and Instagram because it makes so much sense for all of the businesses, and I've experienced it for the past 10 years. So the strategy with YouTube, you need to make sure you understand your primary goal. And of course, your primary goal can be, I want to become a celebrity. That's totally fine. You just need to know how to handle it later, because you can't really reverse that. But if your primary goal is to make money, you're gonna have to niche down on where the money generating audience is. Who's your target audience? Is it people who are interested in paying less taxes? Is it people who are learning English? Is it people who are willing to buy their first piece of real estate? You research top 5 creators in your niche, and you see their best performing videos in the past year. And why I say past year, you know, a lot of creators started like 5 to 6 years ago, and some of their old videos are performing really well. But maybe all of those views came to them 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and it doesn't really make sense to remake them now. But once you see what's going on in the past year, you can kind of generate ideas for your videos as well. Also ask yourself, how much content can I create? Because there are several strategies here. I'm the face of all of our channels, but honestly, this is a full-time job. Like, I film all the time, and I have a team of editors. I have a team who helps me with scripts. But once we started making more channels for my company, where we just hired teachers, and they came up with scripts, and we just gave them our team, we just realized how much easier that is to scale and how much more efficient that is from the business standpoint. So it's great to have your own channel, but it's also great to have some other channels in your company that will help you generate more revenue. So how much content can I create? Ideally once a week, but again, if it's once in 2 weeks, also fine, but just don't disappear for like 6 months. And what is your strength? You want to be focused on your strength. You don't want to talk about something you don't understand, because people just see it right away. Guys, I want to quickly pause the lecture here and ask you if you're enjoying it at all. I haven't been talking too much about my YouTube journey on this channel, but this year I am celebrating 10 years of YouTube. I have 2 other channels. One is called Lingua Marina. Another one is a vlogging channel in my own language, Russian. And this year I've received so many requests from you guys to help you with your YouTube journey. And the most effective thing time-wise that I can offer for you is a one-on-one consultation with me. That would include a strategy session where we go through your existing channel or go through your ideas, come up with a strategy both for short form and long form, talk about funnels that you can build from your YouTube channel and several monetization sources. As you know, I've been monetizing my channels by selling my products, working with brands, and Google AdSense. So if you're interested in growing your channel, the link will be down below. Please book a one-on-one consultation with me. There is also another package that we offer where, in addition to my one-on-one consultation, you get 2 sessions with my YouTube producer, with a person who helps me come up with titles, thumbnails, and scripts for this YouTube channel and for my short videos. So if you're interested in not only exploring your potential strategy, but also getting word-by-word scripts, or maybe have someone generate video ideas for your channel, that is also an option. Again, the link to book will be down below. We're super happy to help you with your media journey and with your journey to reach your customers through social media. So once you decide where you're going, my favorite tool to look for video ideas, because when you start, you also want to rely on search. There are different ways YouTube recommends videos. Normally, 80% of your viewers will come from recommendations. Like when you watch a video on YouTube, you see all the recommended videos. This is where most of the viewers come from. But for a niche channel, if you're just starting out, it's really good to rely on search as well. So what I like to do, for example, if I'm starting a channel, how to start on YouTube, I will do like how to start a YouTube channel, and I will try to speak their words. And it's giving me all of the ideas of the channels that I can start. If I niche down, it's going to give me all the requests that people have when they come to the platform. There are many formats. My favorite format is this talking head, because you set up a studio in your home, you have your lights, you have your script, you have your teleprompter if you need to, because it's super easy to read from it. You can film reaction videos when you see something going viral and you just comment on that video. You can do solo podcasts. Well, the difference between talking head videos and solo podcasts, I feel like podcast is you're less of a narrator, you're more of like you're sharing with your friend. So there is this subtle difference, and podcasters would have like a mic standing in front of them. But it's like there's this subtle difference. Interview style podcasts, I love them because it gives me opportunity to connect with people. You invite someone from the industry, you ask them questions that are important for your audience as well. Video documentaries, Jake is a great person to talk to if you want to film a documentary. You take a topic that is of interest, for example, why celebrities are always depressed, and you create a narrative around that. News, you have to be very efficient with your timing if you're going into that type of content, reviews, tutorials. So there are a lot of different things you can try. But again, ideally, you research what's going on in your niche, what's taking off, what type of content is easier for you, and then you start making your content. As I mentioned, niche down. It's a lot easier to take off with a niche topic. Some people be like, okay, I want to talk about personal finance, so I'll talk about taxes here, and then investing there, and then maybe a 401k, and then maybe top 10 paying jobs. Like imagine what happens to a viewer. So for example, they're in the process of setting up their 401k plan, and they came to your YouTube channel, they found out this video, they want more of 401k versus like seeing your day in life, etc. So this is the trap that I fall to all the time, honestly. The problem is you want to share a lot, but you kind of have to niche yourself down. And what really helps is when you come up with a channel idea, just have those 10 topics that you want to talk about so you kind of know your strategy for the next couple of months. And something that I mentioned already, you find larger channels and start adapting their topics. And YouTube in the past years has been super funny because a lot of people just copy right away, like everything, including thumbnail. And of course, everyone can see that. I'm part of this group of English language YouTubers. And we're like, so the way we relate to that is that somebody tells, oh, I just made a test video and it's doing really well. So all of us will make a test video. We will just adapt it for our viewer. We will make a different thumbnail. But the thing is, ideas are all there. And you could try to invent something, but it should be like 20% of your content. And another thing that I really like, another rule that helps me, always assume that people who are watching are 5th graders in your topic. So if you're talking about taxes, if you start mentioning a lot of complicated things, they're just going to drop off because they don't understand. If we look at like language learning niche, I try to create content for people who are either just starting out or like talk about very general topics, because if you niche down too much, the algorithm will just stop promoting you because the audience will be super small. So this is my plan for video ideas. I try to come up with 100 all the time, and I have a team for that now, but now we guys have Perplexity, which is one of my favorite tools to do research. Perplexity is an AI which generates everything that you want, and it actually has resources that it relies on, because ChatGPT wouldn't give you resources, and sometimes it used to come up with a lot of fake information, so I like using Perplexity. So we come up with Perplexity. I ask it, can you create 100 viral ideas for an English language YouTuber that would appeal to people who are starting to work on their accent? And it will analyze whatever's going on in the niche, come up with 100 ideas, and then I will ask myself questions. Does it have a 1 million view potential? Will it build trust? Is it easy to understand the problem? Can I make follow-up videos? And this would be the process I would follow when picking ideas, and then I will come up with a list of like 10, 15, and then I will talk to my team, and we'll make 2 or 3 ideas. So this should be a process, because your idea can be, it can sound really cool to you, and you will put so much effort into making a video, editing it, and then nothing happens. You don't want that. Idea means a lot. And so this is the formula for finding a topic. So what's the most frequently asked question in your niche? How to start a 401k, how to pay less taxes, how to file taxes online. Something that is very broad. Simplify it as much as possible, and rely on queries. This is the query on how to learn English, and we see this is what people are looking for. Awesome. Let's just make videos using those topics. Long-term content plan. So when I think about the strategy of videos that I make, I try to make 40% of the videos that are already performing in my niche. I don't try to reinvent the wheel. 40% questions that I get asked as an expert. So especially if you start a channel right now, you probably have a lot of people asking you the same questions over and over again. That's a great idea for a video. And then 20% are your wild experiments or sales. Because also I try to be less salesy with my content. If I'm really want to push something, that's 20% of my content. I try to mention my products all the time, but if it's like a webinar where I'm talking about a product, I try to keep it to 20%. So I want you to compare these 2 videos. This is, by the way, the language test that I mentioned that was shared in a group of English language learning creators. They were like, okay, tests are performing well. So what I want you to understand here, that views do not equal money. The thing is, that video with tests brought me a lot of new subscribers, but the product that I recommended in that video didn't really convert because there were a lot of new viewers. They were just starting out their journey. But the TOEFL test, and this is what we learned in the past few years, is that there are several topics in every single niche that just tend to convert better. So for language learning, test prep is actually the main moneymaker for all the companies. And another thing that I like to look at reports of public companies in my niche to see what comprises their revenue. And for a lot of companies like Kaplan or Magoosh, you would just see that top money makers are test prep materials. And this is how we also navigate our revenue. So it doesn't, when you look at the channels and you feel like, oh, there's only like 10K views, look deeper. They might be making a lot more money than a creator who's just talking about like recipes or making fun stuff and getting millions of views. So views do not equal money on YouTube or anywhere on different platforms. This is, by the way, my first video. This is me in my apartment in St. Petersburg. You see, I made it with my phone, no equipment. I edited it myself on iMovie. And what I like about this approach is that first of all, it's more genuine and it's getting more views these days because I feel like people are getting tired of super polished videos and everyone just being perfect on the platform. So a lot of people are going back to that type of format. So I just put my phone on my window and that was it. And I just talked without any prep. I was just describing my GMAT experience. So, and some other tips that I wanted to share as a creator, when you watch YouTube, create a playlist of viral videos in your niche just to have them there. So whenever you sit down to generate ideas, you have this playlist and you go back and see what was performing well. Write down questions that you get asked in your niche. Start filming with your phone, just buy a mic. So I'm using that camera, that small camera right there, and this is my best purchase ever. Like, this is the best camera I've seen on the market because it's very light. Not the bigger one, not the DSLR. The small one's called DJI Pocket Pro. The best battery, the best quality, best sound. This is the mic that comes with it. Very easy to set up. So, or you can just use your phone. And please don't overcomplicate. A lot of people are like, okay, I'm gonna start on YouTube, I need an editor, I need this professional setup. Not really, you just need good lighting, you need good information, good energy, and a good mic. So for editing, I personally, well, I use an editor now, but I used to use iMovie, Adobe Premiere, CapCut, or you can hire an editor. Depending on where they are, $25 an hour, maybe cheaper. Again, depends on their location. Thumbnail. The easiest thumbnail to make, it's basically a picture that comes with a video. You take a photo, you add a phrase. You can hire a designer. I would say up to $75 per thumbnail. I just hired someone who takes $100 per thumbnail, but he's really good. And then you research and optimize. vidIQ, TubeBuddy, 1out10.com, Social Blade. These are all great tools to just research your competition, see by how many subscribers everyone's growing, what's going on in their channels. So my strategy right now, I have my own channels, but we also have several channels operated by our company. And as I mentioned, because we realized the money is in test prep, we started making a lot of different channels with other teachers, just focusing on those test prep videos. When you do search optimization, and this is something that we talked about, you try to speak your client's language when asking a question, but also make sure you have all the keywords in your title, description to make it searchable. Because what I also noticed is that a lot of my traffic comes from Google search. When people look for a specific topic, like my business ideas videos would always end up on the first page in Google when people look for business ideas. And we just see that from analytics that people are coming from external sources. So don't overestimate search on the platform as well. And pro tip, your channel name can actually be your keyword. This is something, like I never thought about it that way, but when I started my Silicon Valley Girl channel, I was surprised that we had our first brand deal when the channel only had like maybe 20,000 or 30,000 subscribers. And I started talking to the brands that were coming. I was like, why are you willing to advertise on such a small channel? And they were like, because we want to target people in Silicon Valley. I'm like, am I a genius? Because I came up with this name. So always think about what would attract people. So all of our new channels, they're either called TOEFL test, GMAT test, admission prep, something that people are looking for. Really helps with search. There is Jake, by the way, takes video. So you don't have to be at the face of your channel. So the first channel is my business ideas video, Silicon Valley Girl. The second channel is our company's channel. And there's this amazing teacher, Vanya, who's teaching people English. And then the third channel is actually Jake's channel, where he talks about, he always takes a bigger topic and makes a documentary out of it. And he doesn't even show his face. So that could be a strategy as well. So I just wanted you to see how I started my YouTube channel. So remember when I talked about the strategy where like 80% of your content, you rely on whatever is performing, what your clients are looking for, and 20% are experiments. So you can definitely see experiments here. My third video was a Singapore vlog that didn't really perform, like see the difference in views. And then another experiment was how to get your startup funded. And that was one of the videos that eventually led me to starting a third channel. If I can't keep those topics to myself and I can't publish them on this main channel talking about tests, then I will just start another one. And I also wanted you to compare my first video versus my most viewed video. See how I started with a niche. I started with test prep. But then I went, when you start with a niche, you always want to think, how do I grow bigger from here? And so I saw from the comments and I saw from requests that people were looking on like accent strategies. And so my most viewed video is actually about accents. So always think about what's the next step with my niche. How can I grow bigger? So you start with a tag strategy. You get your views. Maybe then you talk more about income. But don't do that when you just start out your channel because you're going to mess up your viewers. As I mentioned, shorts versus long videos, do both. These are like, 47 million views. How much I paid for washing a Tesla in California. Honestly, this is my second most viewed video. My first most viewed video is me wearing Apple Vision Pro. And it's like, it's always a trade-off. Do I want to be known? Yes. Do I want to be just known as a girl who overpaid for washing her Tesla? I'm not sure. So always ask yourself that question. But that was an era when I was like super excited about shorts, and that was a great experience of, you know, just getting all of those views. Because they're a free audience, they provide faster growth for your channel. There's still more demand than supply, but it became a little harder to grow. No effect on long form. Some people like, but if I post long form and I start posting shorts, we haven't seen any correlation between those two. We don't know what type of content will be prioritized in the future. And that's the thing, like I still post maybe a couple of shorts a month, just because, you know, we've seen this shift and pivot on all the other platforms where they start prioritizing short form. So why not? Just learn this storytelling skill, tell a story in 60 seconds. And as I mentioned, views don't equal money. I want you to look at this slide where, you know, this is my, what is it? Oh, top professions, and it's the same channel. This top professions video, 3.2 million views, 30,000. But at the same time, when you talk about broader topics, less focused on finance, 15 million views only, well, not only, but compared to this video, 50% less, 17K. So if you aim for Google AdSense or even like converting people to paying customers, you have to be very specific about your niche. And as I said, lifestyle, entertainment, it doesn't really convert. What really converts are topics like getting a job, optimizing your finance, investment, real estate, etc. Obsess over audience, not the algorithm, because it really cares. The algorithm just wants viewer to watch more and more. So don't really think about how the algorithm works. Just think about what your audience needs right now, what will make them watch up to the very end. And this is the metric that you want to analyze, where people are dropping off. Maybe, you know, there is a piece that they, or a segment that they watched over and over again. So just look at the analytics. And another metric that I like to track is called CTR. It's basically when you go to your YouTube homepage, you get recommended all of the videos, and CTR tracks how many people actually clicked on your video after seeing it recommended somewhere. I try to aim for like 7 to 8% if it's not really going viral. Once it starts going viral, it's a lot less. But these are just some numbers to track. Be consistent. YouTube is a long-term play. I would say you need a year of 4 videos a month, ideally, if you want to make it like not a full-time job, but a great channel to drive traffic to your business. And again, this is the best pace. If you feel like, oh, this is too much for me, then maybe hire someone to do that for you, being in front of the camera instead of you. But if you feel like, oh, maybe I can do 2 or 3 a month, that's also fine. So who got excited about starting on YouTube? Yes. Yeah, really, guys, I feel like this is the platform that's been feeding my family, my business for the past 10 years. So I really want you to try and experience it. And Carlton has seen a fast growth just because we've seen a lot of growth. And we figured out a strategy on how to convert new subscribers. So I really wanted to talk about that. Everything is super similar to YouTube. You want to shoot videos that excite your audience, but they're short videos, reels. You create stories that build relationships. Maybe 20% would be your photo posts. There are different formats, talking head videos, trends, mini vlogs, but you've seen those and you understand that. But what I want you to really understand is that right now, the algorithm prioritizes people who post every single day. This is why we double down on that Instagram account that I mentioned. If you post every single day, if you're really consistent with your niche, oh my God, you're going to see amazing results. And this is what we've been seeing for the past 2 months. This is something very recent. So if you do that, I'm sure you're going to start seeing growth. And one thing to remember, when we look at YouTube videos, we kind of make this choice. We're offered several videos, we click on the video, we start watching it. With Instagram, the algorithm offers us something. We continue watching based on the first second, so really pay attention to your first second when you make short videos because it's a different behavior. You have to grab their attention with your first frame, with your first phrase. That's super important. Oh, this is something that we also found out about the algorithm recently, and they posted it. You have to like people who you want to be associated with. Like if you are a real estate person and you want to grow in real estate, Just go follow people, like their profiles, because the algorithm would understand, like, these people are connected, let's start recommending them to each other and their audiences to each other. Sell. This is what I really wanted to touch upon. So first of all, always collect emails even if you don't have a product. That's like number one, because this is something that no one can take away from you. The algorithm is going to change tomorrow, is going to change in 6 months, but emails are going to stay with you and you will continue to sell. Even if you don't have anything right now, just tell them, guys, I'm planning to launch an email subscription, whatever. Just leave your email and I will send you something maybe in 2 months. Just do that. At least have their email. And the two apps that a lot of people use these days are Beehive. This one is quite new. ConvertKit is a little bit more expensive, but they all give you free audience up to 2,500. And each email, this is what we tracked with our YouTube school, each email generates $1,000 plus for us, even if it's just an information email with a link. So you have to own your audience, and the only way to do it is either Discord or email. I find email more reliable, also because you can target them later on platforms like Facebook, create lookalike audiences. The products that you want to have a free lead magnet, and we're going to talk about this in the next slide, how you're going to use it. Small check product to excite and build trust. So what we try to do with small check products, we try to give them a lot more value than they expect. Like we have this workbook for English language learners that costs $5 and has 180 pages worth of content and comes with free videos. You want to have a medium check product like live seminars, pre-recorded courses, and a high check product, one-on-one. But what you want to really be selling through your content are the first two: free lead magnet to collect their emails, second product to build this trust. So when you sell on YouTube, you can advertise in the link. So YouTube allows you to have a clickable link below your video. Instagram, give them a keyword in your reel and ask them to DM you that word. And also please come up with a simple word like money or fun or love or whatever, because if it's a complicated word, people will make so many mistakes. You use ManyChat. This is an app that allows you to send automated messages. So for example, you make a reel, so the reel that I recently made, if you're starting on YouTube, don't do this mistake, blah, blah, blah. Then I give them some information. In the end, I say, if you want a free template for your first video, DM me video. And when they DM me, ManyChat automatically asks for their email, and then they send them the email with this free PDF. And this is how you're able to convert people from just your subscribers on Instagram or your Reels viewers into actual customers. Then you always need to have a link in bio. Use Beacons AI, for example. There are many apps out there to sell products, and of course, sell through your stories. This is the best selling tool on Instagram. Don't forget about paid acquisition. Once you have audience on Facebook, Instagram, you start understanding what are the patterns of your customers, what is their age group, what are their interests. You can create lookalike audiences on Facebook. For all of my businesses, #1 source of revenue are still those ads, not our social media. Just because with social media you build it, you build the connection, but then people actually make purchasing decisions after seeing our ads. And this is something fascinating, how all of this can work together. Yeah, and always remember that you have to be helpful and be kind on social media, because we live in this age where everyone is complaining about everything all the time. Try to bring more kindness, try to be more open. Your reputation is everything, because the internet remembers everything, no matter if you deleted it or not. Assess your risks when experimenting, because it can always backfire. Again, as a person with 17 million followers, I know that every word I say sometimes backlashes, even like flying on an airplane. Test on small groups, collect reviews, get used to haters, but works for the ones who love you and value you, and don't feed the trolls. So if you get a hater, just let them be. Wish them love and say goodbye. Thank you so much.
Wow.